So Jenny, you're in the UK, right? What was
Yeah.
your main issue before you signed up with us? How come you reached out for help?
Okay, I reached out for help because I had not long been diagnosed with pneumonia. And it was such a shock to me that I thought I must have been doing something really, really wrong. So I wanted some nutritional advice and a dietitian's input. Actually, that was truthfully how I got in touch with you in the first place. I think what I later realized was that it was so much more than what I had originally thought. And actually what I was realizing was that it was a huge amount to do with my gut health, which I had not really paid any attention to in the past. And I actually have had issues.
Okay. So then what did you, like working with us, working with myself and Tim, what have you managed to achieve? That's all people care about. Like what was the result, I suppose, that
Yeah,
you feel you got from this?
The result was finding out what my sensitivities are, which it wasn't at all what I thought. And interestingly enough, it was my sensitivity was food that I tend to eat a lot of, like, you know, hummus and chickpeas. And it was that was the shock to me, that was causing the most problem in actual fact. So lentils, pulses, which I thought came of trying to eat a healthier diet. And so what I achieved, I think, was a lot more control over my symptoms, a lot more, in fact, a lot more control over my diet. And so an understanding what a healthy diet looks like for me.
For you,
so
okay.
It might not be the same for others, but for me.
Well, that's just the thing, right? It is so individualized. I wish I could just give a generic plan to everyone and be like, okay,
Yeah.
we'll just follow this and you'll live happily ever after.
Yeah.
This kind of thing is super individualized for so many reasons. And that's why we make it very one-to-one. So what did you like about this program or approach versus other things you've tried?
What I liked was I know this is going to sound strange, but eliminating most things and then gradually reintroducing. Although, you know, it was really hard at times, really, really hard. So I thought, oh, I can't take, you know, where you're just longing for the foods that you really, really like. Well, I was, until I realized the foods that I really, really liked didn't particularly like me. And so what I really liked was the process of elimination and introducing things again, and actually finding out that I could have a bit of everything, but finding what the optimum amount was for me, which actually I found really liberating. I found that really, really liberating.
Right, because now you're able to make informed decisions, right? It's almost empowers
Informed
you to.
decisions, yep, informed decisions. That feeling of lack and not being able to eat things is, for me, is not there anymore. It's just knowing what proportion I can have.
Okay, fantastic. And because I was going to circle back and say, well, I hope you don't feel restricted. Like, I hope you are eating, you're still able to eat the things you like, right? But you're just more aware of how much you tolerate or when you should and shouldn't have those. Is that fair to say? Like, you are
like
eating
I said,
freely?
going through the process, at one stage, I thought, oh no, I can't be doing with this. See, this is the reason why I don't like these diets. It's too restrictive. And then through the journey, realizing actually that there's no reason why I need to restrict myself. I just need to restrict the quantities.
Yeah. Did you find that working like virtual like this was effective then?
It was great. It was great. I mean, I found that in so many other areas of my life, because lockdown happened in the middle of it, which was good because I was so ridiculously busy that it was almost like I just didn't even have time to eat. And it was great going through lockdown, being virtual, because I actually had time to concentrate on my symptoms, believe it or not. Realised that I wasn't feeling very well instead of just pushing through.
Last thing, what would you say to someone who's like on the fence? Maybe they've been stuck for a long time with gut issues, maybe weight goal as well. They're trying to do things on their own.
Yeah.
Feel stuck. And they're just not sure whether they need one-to-one. What's your advice to them?
My advice is, if you're truly stuck, and it isn't a question of, oh, I haven't got the money to do it, because the freedom that you gain from going through, what is different is that you have somebody who will talk you through your symptoms, who's knowledgeable and can tell you, oh, well, it could well be, I don't know, mannitol or gossip. You're unlikely to know that of yourself. So it's really good having the expertise available. It's really good having somebody who can talk you through the Monash app, because that for me was like, that was life-changing. That was a game changer for me. When I finally, looked at it and realized what was involved, what was potentially, mine. And like I said, the freedom that you get from it afterwards, I think that you can't put a price on it, actually.
Yeah, well, it's you're saving a lot of time, really, and doing it properly, but it's the time you don't get back. So that's why we say to people, like, hey, if it's a fit and you've got to get one-to-one help at some stage with this, is just going to save you so much time. But thanks for answering those questions.